This woman just killed her student out of her twisted love for the girl. Welcome back, guys. Today we'll be reviewing the movie Cracks, a twisted story of a teacher who killed her student out of love. The film is set in 1930 in a British girls' boarding school. The rules are very strict here. Students are not allowed to have any indecent thoughts or behavior. Only G, the swimming teacher, is different from others. She is straightforward, open-minded, and always encourages students to pursue their desires. Everyone loves and adores her. She's their idol. D, the captain of the swimming team, is closest to her. One day, Fiamma, a rich girl from Spain, transferred here. Everything starts changing. Upon arriving, Fiamma attracts everyone with her elegant beauty. While the others were in awe, D goes to tell Fiamma only 5 items could be put on the table. Fiamma isn't listening to her though. D shoves an item back to Fiamma and warns her these are the rules. She then reminds Fiamma of the dress code here. These are the rules. She storms off afterwards. These absurd rules make it hard for Fiamma to fit in. During swimming class, Fiamma is also different from the others. She comes to class in a dress. Others are in their swimsuits, trembling in the cold. G tells Fiamma, if you want to be different you have to be worth it. D is the first one to jump. She executes it perfectly. G praises her. Getting her praise, D is glad. It's Fiamma's turn now. She refuses because of the cold. But after some provocation by G, she goes up. Fiamma spins in the air and dives down perfectly. Everyone gets excited over that. G claps her hands in awe. She even tells D to raise up the bar. D's fame is stolen by Fiamma. She's upset. While on a walk, D's friend wants revenge, so she smudges some dirt on Fiamma's face. Fiamma isn't angry though. Spring has come. Fiamma is now used to life here. She even has a fan. One day at the diner, G places a big box in front of Fiamma. All the girls are curious. Fiamma opens it up and shares it with everyone. She then tells a romantic fairy tale as requested by a girl. Fiamma's story is captivating. Even D gets sucked in. Even G stops to hear the story. G then goes to a river. She's enjoying one of Fiamma's cookies. Then, she takes out some postcards. Turns out these are Fiamma's family's postcards. She just took them. That night, G calls the girls out for a swim. Fiamma doesn't want to, but she still follows. Under the light of the moon, G and her students jump down. They look like mermaids, freely swimming. G tells them her adventure in India. Fiamma knows G is making this up, but she doesn't expose her. It's her turn to tell a story now. She's been to a lot of places, but Paris is her least favorite place because it's dirty. She then asks G about Paris. G doesn't answer that. She just says she will continue to explore the world someday. Fiamma tells G she can go whenever she likes. Why wait? G looks at the others and says when they go, she'll go. No more questions. Now, G is curious about Fiamma. One day, G sneaks into the archive room to search for some info on Fiamma. Turns out she transferred here due to a family scandal. The principal finds out about this. She places the files back and warns G, pointing at her picture on the wall. She never told anyone about G always being at school and never stepping outside. So she has to respect other people's privacy too. G fears her secret might get exposed and apologizes. During a floral arrangement class, all the girls turned from D to Fiamma. D and her friends then mess with Fiamma. They destroy her flower and insult her family. G comes in before the situation escalates. Fiamma doesn't want any trouble, so she stays to redo it. But in the end, she still goes to the lake. She stands there and watches as the others are having fun. G finds out and Fiamma just leaves. But G misunderstands, thinking Fiamma likes her and is just shy about it. Thus, G invited everyone over. She notices Fiamma's every single move. Seeing her discovering the postcards, she thinks Fiamma will finally understand her. G tells everyone about her trip to Africa. Everyone is hooked. But Fiamma isn't. She knows it's a bluff. She even finishes G's sentence from time to time. The girls are all confused. So is G. She tries to cover it up by asking if Fiamma listened to her story before. Fiamma just smiles and nods. Seeing Fiamma doesn't intend to expose her, G continues with her story. D couldn't take it anymore though. She warns Fiamma. She says G is brave and honest. She's their role model. Fiamma just tells D to read Mark Kingsley's book, then she'll understand. Ji is falling more and more for Fiamma. She loves her brave attitude, her elegance. During class, she tells everyone to be more like Fiamma. She even goes to the bathroom to talk to her. They are much alike, they can become good friends in the future. Fiamma is scared, she doesn't believe a word Ji says. She's had it with this prison-like school. The next couple of days, Ji notices Fiamma is avoiding her, but she doesn't give up. Ji and Di finds Fiamma in a boat on the river. Ji asks Fiamma why she won't fit in. Fiamma just shakes her head. She won't be here for long, what's the point? Ji wants Fiamma to see reality. All the girls think so at first. Di knows better, that's why she fits in so well. Fiamma begs to differ, saying nothing is forever and eventually they'll all leave. She then pedals away. Ji is sad. She doesn't understand. Isn't life here good? She's been there for too long. When she goes outside, the confident Ji is all gone. Only the shy and scared Ji remains. She keeps mumbling things to buy so as not to forget. She's scared of the outside world, especially men. Hearing some men talking about her, she drops her money. A guy helps her but she only gets more frightened. She grabs her things and leaves. Coming back to school, she's back to her normal confident self. Ji cares for Fiamma deeply. Fiamma isn't a fan of that though. She's replaced Di to be the most famous girl around. But she's still her old self. Fiamma asks Ji to have a swimming competition with other schools. The girls all like the idea. But rules are rules, Ji refuses and just leaves. Fiamma is constantly challenging the school's rules. Not only does she wake Ji up, she also reminds the girls of the outside world. Di meets Fiamma in private, warning her not to ruin the team's happy atmosphere. Fiamma feels like she's excluded. After thinking it through, she promises Di to be nicer to Ji. That way Ji will be nicer to everyone. She even gives Di perfume to prove her goodwill. Di accepts it, but doesn't know how to reply. Everything is cool now. She takes Fiamma out with the others. What will they do next? Hinted by Fiamma, Di recommends a midnight party. That night, the girls are all dressed up with makeup and everything. Di even helps Fiamma dress up. Everyone is having a blast all night. Ji looks in admiration. She even helps them by stopping the night checkup. After the party, Ji tells everyone to clean up and takes the drunk Fiamma back to her room. She tells Fiamma they'll become good friends. She then mumbles the stories in the book and helps Fiamma remove her makeup. She then undresses her and kisses her. Di accidentally finds out. She can't believe what she's seeing. Is this the woman everyone respects? She can't look anymore and just leaves. The next day, Fiamma is visibly upset. She is determined to let everyone know of this. Di over here still naively thinks that Ji is in the right. Seeing Ji crying under a tree, Di comes to ask her what happened. Ji tells her Fiamma framed her to kick her out of the school. She even sells it by leaning into Di in search of comfort. This just solidifies Di's belief. Angered, she rallies the girls to pull Fiamma into the forest. They question Fiamma, asking her why she did it. Di even steals Fiamma's asthma medicine. She tells everyone that Fiamma seduced Ji to do indecent things. Di blames herself for believing Fiamma. They can't believe Fiamma would do something like this to their beloved teacher. Fiamma asks Di if she's seen what happened, why won't she help expose Ji? Looking at the sobbing Fiamma, Di gets confused for a while. Fiamma tries to take her medicine back but failed. She then runs off into the woods. The girls wanted Fiamma to take back what she said about Ji. How could she accuse her of such things? The girls chase her down and beat her up. They eventually stop when Fiamma seems to have trouble breathing. They run off to get help. Di stays back to find her medicine. Ji suddenly shows up and takes it from Di's hands. She tells Di to find help. She then touches Fiamma's face with one hand while keeping the medicine from her with the other. She tells her everything will be okay. She hugs Fiamma until she stops breathing and places her on the ground. After that, she places the medicine on Fiamma's hand to create a false scene. Di however witnessed all of this. She can't believe her eyes. Ji doesn't panic, she threatens Di to keep quiet. Everyone feels guilty after what happened. Some propose to tell Ji about it. Di hesitantly tells everyone the truth. Their bubble is burst. They all come in front of Ji, telling her she's not worthy to be a teacher. Ji reminds them of the consequences, they also won't be forgiven. Di is the last to leave, she says they're not looking for forgiveness. Shortly after, D tells the principal. She then fires G to put out everyone's anger. This isn't the result D hoped for. But what else can she do? In the end, G walks out of the school with her luggage. She gets a small room, still not putting more than 5 items over her head. D writes a letter for everyone and leaves. At the school that imprisoned Fiamma forever, there's nothing there for her anymore. The movie was based on a novel of the same name. Only in face of one's weakness can someone write something like this. Many people can't face their weakness and insecurities. G is one of them. D, however, just wanted to protect everyone's joy in her own way. Leave your thoughts down the comment. Until next time.
Hi guys, GTC Entertainment has posted a new video. Support us with your likes and comments. Please share our video with your friends. Thank you guys.